Sustainability is not about saving polar bears, and it's not about pandas, it's about people. It's about actually creating a planet where future generations can live as well as we do. It's as simple as that. I'm here also because I'm a sustainability ambassador for the Olympics, and I take that very seriously. I think, our job as ambassadors is to make sure that the extraordinary story of this place, and it is a story because it's been going on for years, and it will go on for decades. That story is a really exciting one to celebrate, and I think more people should know about it. I think most of us think of the Olympics as being this crazy, mad thing with that sculpture and that giant stadium out there somewhere the other side of London, and it is that, but it's also the largest park to have been created in London since Hyde Park. It's also about doing sport in a completely different way, which tries to minimise its environmental impact whilst promote its social impact. It's about being green, it's about being responsible, it's about treating the Olympics not as a one-off event, but actually something which is demountable, which is flexible, which can be taken down and reconstructed, which can be reused and repurposed perhaps, in some way. So there's lots of extraordinary ideas behind this, and underwriting all of that is an amazing story about this part of the world, this part of London, which is undergoing and will undergo extraordinary change as a result of what's happening here this summer. The reason I love this building is because I slightly lost my heart to it when it was first built. I came on site and saw it 2 years ago. And of all the buildings that are here, and they are all sustainable construction, yeah? This is the most green building of them all. This is the one where the ideas, if you like, are most elegantly expressed. And it's also, bizarrely, perhaps coincidentally, I don't know, perhaps the most elegant building here. It's a delightful thing to look at. This is, I think it's been well publicised, the most sustainable Olympic Games ever held. Perhaps it won't be the most sustainable Olympic Games ever to be held. One hopes not, one hopes other people will improve. But the amount of research and work that has come out of this project, which is now being handed over to other venues for both the Summer and the Winter Olympic Games or the future, is vast. And this has never been done before. Nobody's been able to hand over a document before saying, look, this is how we did it. And this is how we achieved zero carbon here, and this is how we achieved BREEAM excellent rating for this building, and this is how we achieved all these different criteria and managed to get this low impact project to work. That's never happened. But now, as a result of this scheme, and this enormous project here, I think it's going to have enormous ripples, not just in London, but in future Olympic venues as well. There are thousands of tons of concrete in this building. I think surely that can't be green. But when you consider that to build the equivalent building to service this kind of sport, you would need air conditioning, you would need a big, giant, heavy roof to span this huge space, and because of the weight of that, you need big, strong, heavy foundations. You compare that to this building, which although it has concrete, that concrete is used for thermal mass, which means that by day, it absorbs the heat from all the spectators, and at night it slowly releases it, maintaining an absolute even 28 degrees Celsius for the cyclists, which is the temperature they like to ride at, apparently. That this roof is not heavy and full of steelwork. It's actually immensely light. It's made out of cables stretched across this space, forming a kind of saddle roof, like a Pringle, which is very, very strong. It's taut, and it's super lightweight, which means less carbon, less materials. It means much less energy used to make it. It means much smaller foundations in the building as a result. I'm looking forward to 2016, 2018. I say to people, look, the time to visit this place is in 5-10 years' time, when the kids in the local school are coming and they're able to swim in an Olympic swimming pool, to have the chance to use the BMX and the velo parks, to have this amazing facility, which is not only for sport, but it is a park. It has extraordinary biodiversity already, and is going through wildlife corridors and the connections with other parks and all those pocket parks I talked about. It's going to provide this whole part of London with this possibility of greening itself in a way that the city has never been able to do before.